So, hello everybody, here's a new day with a box. So we all know that boxes are really important because they usually contain really lovely stuff, and this one is packed a little awkwardly because actually I ordered something and I ordered the items at the same time, but for some reason they basically decided to stick one of them on top of the box rather than putting it inside. I have no idea why they would do that. But yeah, that's what they did. And now if I had a knife, this would be brilliant, but of course I don't. Because I try to keep sharp implements away from the cats, because they, you know, they're little assassins. So, yeah. So, let's see what is in the smaller package. I believe I know what it is, and it is double packed. Yes. Now this is the recently released first printing, I suppose, original version of Eldritch Horror Strange Remnants. Now this is a small box expansion. I always think that this woman actually looks like Scully, but maybe she was modeled on Gillian Anderson. Okay, so let's see what's in the box. Inside, let's do a quick unboxing of Strange Remnants. Yeah, I've got no, come on. God, this shrink wrap is... What did they do to this shrink wrap? Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Violence is always the solution if things don't go well. So here it is. I'm actually going to zoom in so that you can see it. So basically you have the Easter Island stone heads here as the lovely imagery. I have to say that Eldritch Horror has beautiful imagery, but I may have mentioned this a couple of times. It comes with a mini catalogue, Imperial Assault, Netrunner, Disc Wars, Eldritch Horror, Lord of the Rings, Elder Sign, Relic, The Witcher. You have your expansion overview leaflet. With the expansion icon down here, which is a stylized Easter Island head. You have a couple of tokens, your new investigators, a couple of health and sanity tokens, and a really lovely Eldritch sign. So it comes with two two token sheets, I should say. We also have a couple of new monsters, a werewolf, a cultist, again, servitor of the outer gods, spawn of Azathoth, Gata Northor, star vampire. Yeah, and some focus tokens, so very nice. I'll put it over here. Here we have the great old ones that come with the game, and possibly the also the investigator cards. So here we go. Let's look at the investigators first. We have Marie Lambeau, the entertainer. Perform an action you have already performed this round. That's her particular ability, which is really handy. If you would spend or lose sanity as part of a spell effect, you may spend or lose one fewer sanity as part of that effect. Brilliant. Skids O'Toole, the ex-convict. You may discard one item or trinket as asset to gain one item or trinket asset of your choice. Whenever you roll a 1 during a test, you may re-roll that die. Tony Morgan, the Bounty Hunter. Action, test strength. If you pass, you may spend up to 2 focus to gain 1 clue for each focus spent. Very good. When you defeat a monster during a combat encounter, gain 1 focus. And lastly, Zoe Samaras, the chef. If you have fewer than 2 task assets, gain 1 task unique asset. If you have not lost sanity during a combat encounter, roll 2 additional dice when resolving the strength test during that encounter. That is brilliant. And finally, our great old one, and its name, I guess, is Syzygy, the Cosmic Alignment. And it is, well, I'm not going to read it because I don't want to spoil it for me, but it's one of those that I've never heard of before. Then, of course, the meat, again, are of course the cards. So here we have those special cards, Dark Blessing. Again, I'll have to find out what these cards actually do with this back, because I've never used this kind of card before. Here we have the normal action, round descriptions. Here we have additional locations, so basically you're getting new location cards. Here we have Chichen Itza, Great Wall of China, Moai statues, and Stonehenge. We have additional Great Old One cards. These are for Syzygy. And again, Syzygy cards. So we don't get anything apparently for the other ones. Let's see. And here we have the expedition cards. So put these back in here. So I will be sleeving like crazy. And I don't even know if they will fit in the box that I made earlier. More Syzygy Elder cards, Outer God cards, I mean. And here we have additional cards, portal cards for the other worlds, but they have a different back. And here we have the story cards. And here we have completely new cards with Stonehenge on the back, Cosmic Alignment. So these are also additional types of cards. They're like the ones that come with Mountains of Madness, which I've never used because I haven't played that before. And here we have the normal location cards that you find, like, you know, you have your that's Americas. No, that's the general ones. Here we have Europe, the Americas, and Asia. And here we have normal Mythos cards. So this is going to be a really lovely addition. I've heard from people who have played it and they say it's great. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to put it back in here. And now let's look at the small cards. What do they give us this time round? And I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want to spoil it for me. We have items, allies. We have conditions, assets, spells, yeah, and assets as well, unique assets, and yeah, prayer, sealing the old ones, you know. Okay, so it's a really lovely set of items and cards, obviously, and spells. So I'm really looking forward to playing this. I will have to read if it just integrates with the normal game, which I assume it will. So you just basically add those cards. This is what I did with the cards for Mountains of Madness. But of course you have the side deck, as the sideboard as well there, which you can use. But then you have to play a particular type of Outer God. So we'll see how this works, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, I'm really happy that I got this. And again, I would like to point out that, you know, the art again is really beautiful. So now we come to the big box. And this big box, I fell off the bandwagon. I said I'm not going to buy any new games this month. Well, yeah, and then I bought Pathfinder, and then I bought, well, I said I'm not going to buy any new games after Pathfinder this month. Then I bought Legendary Encounters Alien, and then I bought this. Pop this open. Oh, this is actually bigger than I thought it would be. Wow. So to keep you in suspense, card sleeves. And a box, and I was really interested in this. So here we go. It is Lord of the Rings, the adventure card deck. The card game. And this is the living card game for 1 to 2 players. So I bought one base set. So this allows me to play with, well, first of all on my own, of course, but also with one more player, which will never happen. And yeah, this is not what I ordered. The Dead Marshes Nightmare deck is not what I ordered, but that's fine. So now I've got the Nightmare deck from Dead Marshes. I don't know what you do with a Nightmare deck. Yeah. Okay. Now that's actually not what I ordered. I'll have to check my order here. Yeah. Yeah, that's not what I ordered, so I'll have to ring them and tell them. But that's fine. So I'm going to unbox the Lord of the Rings. This is interesting, you know, you do an unboxing, you know, a literal unboxing of opening a package, and then you kind of go, yeah, that's not what I ordered. That's weird. So that's not a problem. So let's see what's in the box. It's actually a really beautiful box, but I hear that this apparently is smaller than the boxes that they used to provide. So those lovely wooden inserts that you can buy do not fit these boxes anymore, which is a pity. Because knowing Fantasy Flight Games, there won't be any insert to speak of in this box. It will be horrible. All of the cards will be flying around. Again, booklet, Lord of the Rings, the card game, the rules of play. I have also printed them off because I always want to read them and make maybe notes. Here we have the counter sheets, and also this game comes with a lot of things that you have to, 2 things that you have to put together, and that's the if you like, the doom track, or whatever you want to call it, you know, the threat track, I think they call it. And here we have the first player token. And when I look at this a little more closely, it actually reminds me of an image I've seen before, and I wonder, was it on Middle-earth Quest? I don't know. So here we have the meat, obviously the cards, and as you can see, there is no insert to speak of. There is, again, nowhere where you can really store the cards. I guess you could do this, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, you could do this, but then maybe, yeah. But then what do you do with the rest? You know, what do you do with the tokens, you know, when you fill this up with cards? So I guess you could possibly cut this out, but that would destroy the really lovely imagery. But yeah, again, Fantasy Flight Games, what were you thinking when you created those inserts? You probably weren't thinking at all. So here we have the cards, and they are not, oh, I'm appalled, they're not even, okay, yeah. Okay, they feel very different from the cards that come with Eldritch Horror. They're thin. Cardstock. I will have to compare this because this feels really cheap. Let's take a look at the Pathfinder, or maybe I'm just imagining this because I haven't handled cards in a long time that haven't been sleeved. So let's see, do I have any unsleeved cards? Let's take this one here. No. Yeah. They feel that this is the card of Pathfinder, and this is the card of Lord of the Rings. The Pathfinder one feels much more, yeah, it feels different. A little more sturdy, I would say. I don't know, they just feel different. But that's okay, I guess, because I'm going to sleeve them anyway. So here we have, let's look at those cards in a little more detail. We have Aragorn, who is a hero. Theodred, who's a hero. Glowin, who is a hero. And Gimli, who's a hero. Legolas, Thalin, Eowyn, Eleanor, Dunhir, Denethor, Dunhere probably, Denethor, Glorfindel, Beravor. So basically what you do is you play the game with 3 heroes in your hand, or in your, well, party if you like, and they can come from up to 3 different spheres. You have the, I think, lore sphere, tactics sphere, and 2 more spheres whose names I don't know. So basically a green star, a red sword, I guess purple rune, G rune for Gandalf, and a book, a green book. So basically it's played by spheres, and depending on which sphere your heroes are from, they can buy certain cards from your deck. So when you put together your deck, you have to ensure that the cards that you have in your deck can actually be bought by the heroes you will be playing. So you have allies, so this would be Guard of the Citadel, Gondor Warrior. You have Faramir, who's also an ally. You can tell what they are by looking down here. So this says ally. Longbeard, Orcslayer, also an ally. You have event cards. So these would all be cards that go in your deck. A tournament deck will have 50 cards. And you can have, I think, up to 3 copies of each of the cards. Then you have attachments, allies, some more allies. Yeah, I don't like the feel of these cards. They feel really cheap. Yeah. Okay. And they definitely feel completely different than the cards from Eldritch Horror, which is also by Fantasy Flight Games. But then again, this is a living card game, so you would be shuffling them all the time, so maybe that's part of it. Location cards, so basically these are all, you can tell by the back if it's part of the player deck. So basically the player deck cards have this golden ring on their back, and the if you like, the encounter cards, the stuff that will make your life miserable, have Sauron's eye on their back. So here you have like King Spider. So this would be an enemy locations, because you travel, treachery, enemy treachery location. So basically it's all going to make your life miserable, because traveling in Middle-earth is never fun. Now, to talk about this game, I mean, I'm going to start playing it at this weekend to see, you know, how it plays. What I want to point out is, for people who wonder how this game actually fits into the story, this game, the base set, is supposed to take place in the 17 years between Bilbo Baggins' 111th birthday, which is how the Lord of the Rings first starts out, basically the party. And then he vanishes and basically leaves the ring to Frodo and moves away. And then 17 years later, the Black Riders come to the Shire. And this is where this game, in those 17 years, this game is set. The base. I mean, since it first came out, there have been plenty of expansions. And I know that there are 2 expansions that will actually allow you to play the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring. They have the deluxe expansions that come in bigger boxes. They have small box expansions. There are cycles. And there are nightmare cards, a pack of which I've just received, although I can't really use it because I don't have the Dead Marshes deck, but that's fine, I'm going to just query that. And here we have the actual scenario cards, because each game is played as a scenario. So basically you have a scenario which dictates which kind of cards you use. So in this scenario you use spider cards, something that looks like a vampire, so basically a stylized vampire on a tree. And you put these cards into the deck, into the encounter deck, and you play through this. So this game comes with 3 scenarios that you can play. And unlike, for example, Pathfinder, where you actually become stronger and stronger over time between scenarios, because you gain experience and you basically gain feats and you gain more stuff, more powerful items. This isn't the case here, because you build the hand and the deck. You build the deck, and then you have your deck. You can always take stuff and exchange it in the deck. Whereas in Pathfinder, the idea is you have to acquire it. You have to find it. So it plays very differently. I know that in some, I think in the 2 that are based on the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring, you actually have a campaign mode, and I believe that you will probably gain strength through that campaign, although I'm not sure. But this base set is really like you play one scenario and then you go back to the beginning and play the second scenario. Your heroes don't evolve, you don't suddenly get new cards, you don't get boons or anything that weren't there in the beginning. You can build your deck right from the beginning. So this is the unboxing. I mean, okay, we have the Lord of the Rings Nightmare deck. I'm not going to open it because, yeah, well, they might want it back. Although, I mean, sending this back would be more expensive than actually this deck is, because I think they're like £5. So, yeah, I'm going to write them an email now, tell them that they sent me the wrong thing and ask for a replacement. And, yeah. So, thanks very much for watching. And you can now expect good things for the weekend if you want to watch my channel and see me play The Lord of the Rings, the card game, by Fantasy Flight Games. This game is copyright 2011, so it's 4 years old at this stage. I'm late to the party, but it seems like the party's going strong, because this is nice when you wait, because then you suddenly get all of this stuff on the internet, people talking about rules. You can watch brilliant videos on how this game is played. And that really helps to give you an impression of how it's played. So I'm going to probably do a blind play, so basically without me playing it first and then showing it off, I'm going to just do a playthrough without having practiced it at all. See you soon, bye.